The year was filled with sheer resentment. Whenever I held hands with my husband, he would coldly shake me off. It wasn't until after his death that a barrage of messages appeared before my eyes. The male protagonist is so stubborn, never admitting he has a skin starvation disorder. Now, he has perished in his unfulfilled desires. The male protagonist kept a diary. One glance by the female protagonist could embarrass him back to life. The diary is hidden in the fourth drawer from the left in his study. I opened the drawer and, to my surprise, there really was a diary. Beneath the diary, there was also a medical record. It belonged to Pei Wang, diagnosed with severe skin starvation disorder. The doctor's note read, "Physical contact with loved ones can alleviate the condition." The messages commented, "His illness is as endless as Qin Shi Huang swinging on a swing. You should take some medicine." Male protagonist: "Too bad he's a strong man. Wouldn't touch the female protagonist even if sparks flew. Marrying Pei Wang was an accident. My father's company went bankrupt, and everyone around us scattered. Out of nowhere, Pei Wang swooped in and acquired the failing company. In tears of gratitude, my father offered me to Pei Wang as a gift, but Pei Wang gave my father 30 million and married me officially. I was forced to break up with my then-boyfriend. For the next 3 years, Pei Wang and I respected each other but lived separate lives. He was cold and abstinent by day. At night, he would sneak into my bed while I slept. He did nothing but lay rigidly beside me. I was content not having to consummate our marriage, until I saw him sleeping with my skirt in his arms. Frightened, I slapped him. Pei Wang, you're disgusting." His face turned deathly pale, and he fled. 3 days later, Pei Wang slit his wrists in the bathtub. Pei Wang's family doctor said, "Mr. Pei suffered greatly before his death. The warm water prevented his wrists from scabbing over, and his condition, when unalleviated, made him lose all hope for life. Mr. Pei always found his illness repulsive and asked me to keep it a secret from you." I opened Pei Wang's diary. My wife slapped me. I was so happy, but then I woke up and realized it was just a dream. My wife smiled at me today. I'll reward myself with her photo. Xiaoning slapped me. I wanted to kiss her hand, but she wants to divorce me. My world is ending. I closed the diary. The messages crazily scrolled before my eyes. Pei Wang's spirit has come to say goodbye. To the female lead, too bad she can't see him. She only knows she will never see Pei Wang alive again. Pei Wang sees her crying, wants to hug her, but now he's just a wisp of a soul, unable to embrace his love. I stood up, wanting to embrace Pei Wang, but all that remained in my arms was a wisp of breeze. When I opened my eyes again, I was in the familiar bedroom, but the bedding was not the usual plain colors, but bright red silk sheets. The messages slid past. Did the female protagonist travel back to their wedding night? Are they redoing the story? Hopefully, the ending won't be the same. I remembered. This was the point where Pei Wang and I had a wedding in the church with no vows and no guests. After the wedding, Pei Wang sent me home, leaving me with a black card and his indifferent back. "The company needs me to work overtime. Take care of yourself." At that time, I felt, to him, work was more important than me, and I was just a canary he had bought with money. From that day on, we embarked on a marriage that was in name only for 3 years. I hadn't yet taken off my wedding dress and high heels. Dressed like this, I went after Pei Wang. It was gloomy outside, and it was raining. I hailed a taxi and arrived at Pei Wang's company. I looked up at the towering 68-story office building before me, a business empire built from scratch by Pei Wang, but he was so foolish. For just because of a word from me, he gave up his life of power and influence. I walked into the office building, but I didn't even know where his office was. The receptionist asked me who I was looking for. I said, "Pei Wang." She smiled at me. "You need an appointment to see President Pei." I smiled back. "I'm his wife." Pei Wang arrived quickly. Upon seeing me, he approached calmly and composed. The screen displayed. When the male protagonist received the call at the reception, he incredulously asked several times, "Who is looking for me?" "My wife." Before he came down, he even sprayed some perfume on himself and kept fixing his hair in front of his phone screen. The male protagonist meeting his wife is like a peacock spreading its feathers. Pei Wang stood before me, his demeanor cool and detached. "What brings you here?" He was dressed in an impeccably tailored, luxurious suit, his hair perfectly groomed. His face was devastatingly handsome, more refined and beautiful than AI modeling. I moved into Pei Wang's embrace and wrapped my arms around his waist, my ear against his chest. I could hear the clear beating of his heart. This was Pei Wang, alive and real. "Do you know how much I've wanted to see you?" All the grievances poured out at that moment, my tears wetting the shirt on his chest. Pei Wang's composed facade shattered. His voice trembled slightly. "What happened?" I hugged Pei Wang even tighter. "I missed you so much." But he pushed me away. He turned, straightening his clothes. "Let's go upstairs to talk." I stood still. He looked down and saw my bare feet. Pei Wang hesitated for a moment, then lifted me up with one arm. The screen went wild with comments. "Wow, is the male protagonist king? Who else would do a one-arm princess carry?" During the hug, The male protagonist must have been tired from sticking out his butt, afraid of scaring the girl away. It's the first time the male protagonist is so close to the female protagonist. He must think she smells so good. He's ecstatic inside. I never expected Pei Wang to have this side. In Pei Wang's office, located on the top floor with a river view, he placed me on the sofa, heated some water, and wiped my feet with a towel. He kneeled in front of me, obedient like a big dog. I lifted his chin with my toe, forcing him to look me in the eye. Pei Wang, carrying me upstairs, wiping my feet, being so kind to me. What for? Pei Wang stared blankly at my lips moving, then coldly turned his head away. The screen commented, the male protagonist just can't handle it. His skin is thirsty, especially on rainy days. I'm going to die of anxiety. Male protagonist, go kiss her, hug her, tell her that even bitter fruits are fruits. Is it wrong to want to be with you forever? I turned over, pinning Pei Wang down, gripping his chin and demanding, did you marry me because you like me? Not really, but his body desperately wanted to be in contact with me. I let go of Pei Wang and stood up to leave. I was waiting for Pei Wang to stop me. Sure enough, he grabbed my wrist. You're not wearing shoes. I'll have someone go buy some. I stepped forward, standing barefoot on Pei Wang's feet, then I touched his lips. His lips felt hard, but they were soft to the kiss. I whispered to him, if you want me to keep kissing you, you have to tell me you like me. I know how tempting a lover's touch can be to someone who craves skin contact, almost to a deadly extent. If Pei Wang wants sweetness, he has to give me what I want. Pei Wang's veins throbbed at his temples. His wristband heart monitor beeped an alarm. I pressed my advantage, pinning him down on the sofa. Why would you leave me alone on our wedding night? I felt aggrieved. If Pei Wang loves me, why won't he say it? Let go of me first. His voice trembled, trying to push me away, but he was too weak to move me. A gentleman of integrity, right? Keeping his composure, right? I pinned him down on the sofa, then I started to undo my wedding dress buttons. We were almost facing each other honestly. But Pei Wang turned his head away. Ningxi, you don't need to test me like this. I'll wait until you're willing. I scoffed and slapped him. Pei Wang, are you not capable? Pei Wang not capable. He was very much capable. A bright red slap mark on his face. Tears swirled in his eyes. Ningxi, I know you hate me. If slapping me makes you a bit happier, then you can do anything to me. I silently watched Pei Wang. Was he trying to seduce me? The comments said. Even if the female lead stripped naked in front of him, Pei Wang would just ask if she was cold. Sorry, he's not the type to hurt the woman he loves. Don't reward him. He says no with his lips, but he's thrilled inside. Why does his wristband keep alarming? I'm worried he might suddenly die. I sighed and let go of Pei Wang. I wiped the sweat from his forehead. Your heart rate is off the charts. Let's stop teasing and go eat, shall we? He nodded expressionlessly. Then he took off his wristband. Sorry, there's a problem with the wristband, the comments said. This smart wristband is a hot new product developed by his company, marketed for its reliability. Why is the big boss undermining his own product? This strong guy behaves only when his wife is gone. Pei Wang had someone buy me a set of clothes. After changing, we went to the downstairs Western restaurant to eat. Pei Wang and I rarely had the chance to sit down and have a proper meal together. Once. To undermine him, his competitors called him a thief. As a child, he stole swill from restaurants to stave off hunger and expired bread from convenience stores to fill his stomach. Even as an adult, he never ate 3 regular meals a day, because no one ever taught him how to love himself. Pei Wang, let's eat together from now on, I said, pretending it was just an offhand remark. He paused while cutting his steak, then nodded restrainedly. Sometimes I have meetings, handle documents. I might not be able to join you for meals, but I can make time for you otherwise. I put down my knife and fork, smiling warmly as I responded, all right, then I'll eat whenever you eat from now on. After all, I have a stomach condition, and the doctor said that if I don't eat regularly, it will get worse. Pei Wang seemed taken aback by my response. The overwhelming feeling of not being in control made him anxious. He began to pick at the hangnails around his fingernails until they bled. I took a deep breath and held his hand. Pei Wang, could you please take care of yourself a bit more? My grip on his wrist tightened. It shouldn't be like this between us. Me taking a step forward and you taking 100 steps back. Avoiding won't get you a wife, or my kisses, if you want that. Then accompany me for meals every day. Great. She's straightforward. There's hope for us. As for the heroine, out of 100 points, she only scores 22, the remaining 78. The male lead spoils her with. Pei Wang looked into my eyes as if searching for a reason to refuse. After a long pause, he averted his gaze and nodded almost imperceptibly. As we left the restaurant, we ran into Fu Tan, my ex-boyfriend of 3 years, whom I was supposed to marry. However, he had a severe heart condition, and doctors said he wouldn't live past 30. At that time, my family was bankrupt. Fu Tan, being the powerless second son of the Fu family, had no influence. And my father sold me off to Pei Wang. Fu Tan had locked himself in his dark studio, unseen for a long time. After not seeing him for months, he had lost a lot of weight. The once dazzlingly handsome man now had a lifeless look in his eyes. His gaze fell on me and Pei Wang, filled with boundless sorrow. Ningxi, have you fallen for Pei Wang so quickly? What about the vows we made? What about the paths we walked together? Fu Tan clutched his chest, struggling to breathe. I supported him and searched for his medication. Calm down, you're having an attack. He pulled me into his embrace, his voice choked with emotion. Just hold me, and I'll be alright. Xiaoxi, can you wait for me? I will become your hero and rescue you from Pei Wang. I will take control of the Fu family and make you the lady of the house. From then on, no one can tear us apart. I was held in Fu Tan's arms, exchanging a look with Pei Wang, who stood beside us with a dark, stormy expression in his eyes. Comments streamed in. What's this? Does the second male lead also have a skin hunger issue? Needs the heroine's embrace to feel better. I hate these White Lotus types. It's over. Seeing the look in the male lead's eyes, the heroine's going to have a tough time when they get home. The male lead is crying. Come on heroine, comfort him, he needs a hug. Fu Tan stared at me blankly, lost in thought. In his previous life, just as he said, he quickly overthrew his elder brother from power. Once he gained authority, he went head-to-head with Pei Wang in the business world. Pei Wang's abilities are far from ordinary. The two of them exchanged blows, neither willing to give in, but I didn't want to be an object fought over by two men anymore. I pushed Fu Tan away, then I walked step by step towards Pei Wang and took his hand. Let's go home. At the underground parking lot, Pei Wang, who had been silent for a while, finally spoke. Now that we're alone, you don't have to pretend anymore. You should go to Fu Tan. The audience commented, this is what a true partner looks like, even willing to accept a rival with such grace. If you really went to him, you wouldn't be happy. Weren't you just burning with jealousy when you saw her hugging the other guy? I was shocked as I looked at Pei Wang. His face was expressionless, delicate, and cold. Tear stains still marked his cheeks, making him look vulnerable like a big dog. I couldn't help but laugh and mischievously poked his cheek. Pei Wang, are you jealous? Pei Wang stubbornly turned his head away. No, really not. No. Pei Wang was really too beautiful. His jealous and angry look made it irresistible to tease him. I tiptoed and kissed his lips. Are you still angry? I asked him softly. Pei Wang breathed heavily. I'm not angry. I chuckled lightly and kissed him more intensely. The audience commented, in the past, he relied on cold showers when he was upset. Today, he finally found relief. Can the male lead understand this kiss? Isn't he gasping for air? He's almost suffocating. Pei Wang was inexperienced and had never felt the pleasure of intimate contact with a loved one. I gently patted his cheek. Breathe. Only then did Pei Wang seem to awaken, taking deep breaths. Then he eagerly leaned in for more kisses, but I pressed my finger against his lips. Pei Wang, can you tell me now if you're upset because of Fu Tan? Pei Wang looked like a wronged puppy. He buried his head in my neck, his voice muffled. I am upset. Very upset. I stroked his soft hair. Then tell me, what do you want me to do? I want you to only look at me, hold me, kiss me. I held Pei Wang's face seriously and told him, see? Isn't it much better to express your thoughts? When you're angry and don't tell me, I can't make you feel better. If you're sad and keep it inside, I won't know to comfort you. Pei Wang nodded groggily, like a child dazed by happiness. I pinched his cheek. Good boy, baby. The audience went wild. Turns out you don't need to go to Panhong Garden to train a dog. The female lead is the master. Please release a dog training manual. Will the male lead call her wife or master from now on? Me, after getting caught in the rain, I came home and developed a fever. The doctor gave me a fever-reducing injection, and I drifted off into a heavy sleep. Pei Wang gazed at the sleeping figure before him, as if he were worshipping Aphrodite on Mount Olympus, the goddess. Betrothed to the ugly and flawed Hephaestus by Zeus, Pei Wang felt that he, a broken man, was unworthy of such a divine woman, on this damp, rainy day. His skin felt as though countless ants were gnawing at his flesh and sanity. He was despicable, shameless, and vile, he thought to himself. Since Ningxi is asleep, she won't see this disgusting side of me. He curled up on the adjacent sofa, indulging himself. Finally, Pei Wang regained his composure. He stood up and straightened his clothes. In the full-length mirror, he looked restrained, proper, and gently warm. This version of Pei Wang wasn't filthy or repulsive, but when his eyes met mine, Pei Wang's face turned deathly pale. When did you wake up? He asked. The comments flashed. She's been awake since you called her name. Oh no. I've spent money. Why is it all just talk? Don't just focus on yourself. Remember the female lead too. I looked at Pei Wang with a playful smile. What were you just doing? Why is your face so red? Exercising. My body, he replied. I barely held back a laugh. So, when will you let me check the results? Pei Wang dashed out of the bedroom. Fleeing the scene, the comments continued. What kind of man are you? I'm in a hurry. Can you two just go to the bedroom already? I sighed. Pei Wang really was difficult to win over. As the illness slowly receded like pulling silk, Pei Wang stayed home to care for me for several days. Throughout, I tried every trick in the book, but he never lost control in front of me, the comments said. The male lead, to hide his illness, ignored doctor's advice and took lots of medicine. The male lead is too insecure, he can't accept his illness, he desperately wants to be perfect in front of the female lead. Recently, the second male lead has been provoking him, and in anger, the male lead took him to a villa in the suburbs. He's been irritable from the medication these past few days, but he wants to be a good boy in front of the female lead, so he vents his anger on the second male lead instead. Watching the comments, I fell into deep thought. Pei Wang, in his past life, had shown strong possessiveness towards me. At a business gathering, I met Fu Tan. Fu Tan shattered a wine glass, spilling red wine on me. As Fu Tan helped me clean the stain, I glanced at Pei Wang, who had a stern face, and I politely declined Fu Tan's help. Unexpectedly, that smile drove Pei Wang mad. He and Fu Tan started fighting, almost as if he was fighting for his life, pinning Fu Tan to the ground and hitting him. This side of Pei Wang was too obsessive and extreme. Pei Wang should be in the study at this time. When I pushed open the door, a sickly sweet scent hit me. Pei Wang was at his desk, working on documents. What's that smell in the room? I asked. He hesitated in his response. The comments explained, it's medicine for his skin condition. The oral medicine he used before no longer works, only this inhalable type can alleviate his symptoms now. This kind of medicine can become addictive if used too much. I frowned and opened the windows of the study. Fresh air entered, clearing much of the scent. I walked over to Pei Wang. He sat motionless in his chair, with documents still laid out on his desk. I looked down at Pei Wang's suit pants. Is this how Pei Wang handles his business? His energy really is boundless. With a playful smile, I embraced him. Their fingers interlocked. Is the medicine effective, or am I? What did you say? I asked him again. Why didn't you tell me when you were sick? Pei Wang's blood seemed to stop flowing. You already know. I'm sorry, really sorry. I know I'm disgusting. I am like an unworthy dog, with such a disgusting disease. Don't leave me, don't divorce me. Pei Wang's emotions teetered on the brink of collapse, fragile as if they would shatter at a touch. I seriously said to him, Pei Wang, you are beautiful. I really like your appearance. Your waist and abdominal muscles also feel great to touch. I wrapped my arms around his waist, and, I don't mind being close to you. Pei Wang looked at me in shock. You, like me? I kissed his fingertips. If I didn't like you, why would I kiss you and hold you? But, Fu Tan said you love him more. If you lose interest in me later, you will abandon me? Pei Wang's tone carried a grievance he himself did not notice. I pinched his earlobe. Are you so afraid I'll leave you and abandon you? Are you afraid that if I go, there will be no one to treat your illness? He spoke hesitantly. I like you, not just out of physical desire. I've always known. I've read Pei Wang's diary. We attended the same middle and high schools. He was that odd one in class who wrote his homework with a pencil. Classmates mocked him for not even being able to afford a notebook. Yet, he was always first in every exam. During my chaotic and messy school days, I dated one boy after another, but never noticed that a quiet, subtle gaze had always been watching me. Pei Wang, why would you like someone as messed up as me? I eagerly looked at Pei Wang, hoping he would compliment me more, but after a long struggle, he only managed 6 words. You're not bad, you're very good. The comments said, the male lead is obsessed with the female lead because she has captured his heart. To be fair, although the female lead is a bit of a flirt, she is kind-hearted and attractive, and such a brooding boy is easily smitten by a blazing sun like her. Woo 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 woo. The sisters at the scene leave a string of mysterious numbers, 999969. Just as the atmosphere was getting ambiguous, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered the call. On the other end was Fu Tan's weak voice. Xiaoxi, where are you? Pei Wang is too dangerous. Pack up. I'll take you away. Pei Wang beneath me instantly turned pale. I asked Fu Tan, what happened? I was locked in his remote mountain villa by Pei Wang. Today I took advantage of a lapse in the guard and hid in the villa's basement. There is a pitch-black iron cage there. The walls are covered with your photos. The earliest one is from your first year of high school. The latest one is from a month ago. He has been watching you. I looked at Pei Wang with questioning eyes. Is this true? Pei Wang shook his head helplessly, his eyes filled with panic. I chuckled. That's scary. From the other end of the phone came Fu Tan's voice. Don't come here. Let me go. It seemed Pei Wang's men had captured Fu Tan. I hung up the phone, looking at Pei Wang. Do you have anything to explain to me? Pei Wang's eyes were full of defeat and despair, crying and then laughing. He held me tight in his arms, fiercely saying, Ningxi, are you afraid of me, despise me, and want to leave me? I'm telling you, it's impossible. Even in death, you'll have to stay with me in the same urn. Liar, in our past life, you clearly left me alone. What do you plan to do with me then? Hide me away so that in the future I can only talk to you? Pei Wang shook his head as he heard this, his emotions beginning to crumble. No, that's not it. You are the sun, you won't rise and set just for me, nor will you love only me. One day, you will leave me. The comments said, the male lead is so pitiful. Just like my dog who has separation anxiety, if the female lead were like in the past life, not showing any real feelings towards the male lead, he, having never experienced better, would obviously find it easier to accept her departure. It's like someone who has seen the light can never again endure the darkness. I hugged him. I'm not some son, I'm a living person. You are so good, so likable. How could I not love you and just leave you behind? Pei Wang in the past life wasn't bad or unlikable, he just hid his feelings too deeply. It was I who didn't see my own heart clearly. That's why we missed out on so many years. 12. I originally wanted to persuade Pei Wang to let go of Fu Tan, but every word and action of mine, in Pei Wang's eyes, would be greatly magnified. Thus, this matter had to be put on hold for now. But soon, the situation took a turn. I accompanied Pei Wang to a charity gala. Fu Tan, who was supposed to be confined in the villa, was mingling among the crowd, radiant as before. When he saw me and Pei Wang, he even came over to greet us. A few company CEOs around us, thinking we didn't know each other, even introduced Fu Tan to us. Mr. Fu has recently taken over the family business and is now the head of the Fu family. This moment came much earlier than in the past life when Fu Tan overthrew the elder brother of the Fu family. The look of vulnerability had completely vanished from Fu Tan's eyes. His gaze towards me was like that of a hunter eyeing his prey. Pei Wang pulled me behind him, blocking Fu Tan's view of me. Mr. Fu, if you keep staring at someone else's wife, your eyes might be gouged out. Fu Tan looked at Pei Wang with a smirk. Are you talking about Ningxi? She's just under your temporary care, and one day she will return to my side. Saying this, Fu Tan's eyes lingered on me. Ningxi, he hasn't taken good care of you, you've lost weight. Seeing the tension between the two, the surrounding executives quickly scattered. The comments said, how can this guy be so brazenly lying? The female lead has obviously gained weight. The male lead is the type who is fierce but not verbose, while the second male lead is all talk. The male lead is so angry now, but doesn't know what to say to infuriate the second male lead even more. I hid behind Pei Wang. Husband, say something. This gave Pei Wang the courage. Like a small dog that had the backing of its owner, he boldly said, my wife told you to scram, didn't you hear? Fu Tan, with a dark look in his eyes, left our line of sight. I asked Pei Wang, wasn't Fu Tan supposed to be locked up in the villa? Why did he suddenly appear here? Pei Wang shook his head. I haven't really been keeping an eye on Fu Tan these last few days, and the people guarding him haven't sent any updates. It seems now that Fu Tan has bribed those people. He's not as simple as we imagined. As the dinner was about to end, I received a message on my phone. Xiaoxi, I've prepared a big surprise for you tonight. It was from an unknown number. A shiver ran through me. I had pushed Pei Wang to discuss a partnership. Somehow, my head started to feel heavy and foggy. Before my consciousness faded, I fell into someone's arms. When I opened my eyes again, I was in a pitch-dark basement. Pei Wang, is it you? Instinctively, I felt that this was something Pei Wang would do. It wasn't the main guy, it was the second male lead. He drugged your drink when you weren't paying attention. Why can't the second male lead stop breaking up the main couple? Can't they just keep being sweet together? I frantically read these comments. Fu Tan, come out here. A light chuckle echoed from the doorway. Fu Tan stood there, dressed in a black turtleneck and gold-rimmed glasses, exuding an air of refined elegance. I had once complimented him on how good he looked in such outfits. Fu Tan smiled lightly at me. Xiaoxi, it's been a long time since I've seen you angry. The comments continued. Stay away from the female lead. This time it's not just scaring yourself. The second male lead is a pure Yandra and a freak. The main guy is going crazy right now. Second male lead, second male lead, second male lead. Fu Tan frowned and clicked his tongue lightly. These comments are really annoying. I was shocked. Could Fu Tan see the comments too? Fu Tan walked over and embraced me. Xiaoxi, I know you have many questions, I'll answer them slowly. After all, I spoil you. This reminded me of our childhood when we played house. He was the father, I was the mother, and our friends were the children. I would use green, leafy mud as herbal medicine, applying it to his hand while playing doctor. He helped me with homework and writing reflections. He embraced it all and would say, who else but me to spoil you? I looked at him in fear. Since when can you see the comments? He nuzzled my neck with his head. It was around the time those comments said that if I loved you, I should elope with you before you marry someone else. I rebuked him. You never loved me. Back then, my father handed me over to Pei Wang, a stranger, while you locked yourself in your studio to escape reality. They're not wrong. You are a cowardly loser. Yes, I am a loser. If I weren't such a cowardly loser, I would have taken you away before you fell in love with Pei Wang. I said tremblingly. You're terrifying. Unexpectedly, Fu Tan laughed. Do you find me terrifying? But isn't it Pei Wang whom you like, who is just as terrifying? I was horrified by Fu Tan, and tears began to fall. Fu Tan wiped my tears and continued. If you want to talk about terrifying, Pei Wang is the most terrifying. Have you ever wondered where your ex-boyfriends went after you got married? Mental asylums? Dark mines? Fu Tan sickeningly stroked my hair. I know exactly what Pei Wang is thinking. Why should those people be able to hug you, kiss you, and enjoy your beauty? So when he locked me in his villa, I was actually happy. I had you before he did. I was loved by you before he was. I struggled frantically in his arms. Fu Tan held me even tighter. He almost cruelly said, Ningxi, I won't let you go again. I was too gentle before. I should be a madman like Pei Wang. Ningxi, it's do or die between us. Fu Tan has lost his mind. He's not like Pei Wang. Pei Wang loves me and can't bear to hurt me. But Fu Tan, that madman, will stop at nothing when it comes to me. I decided to use a softer approach. Fu Tan, we grew up together. Don't be so harsh on me. I'll divorce Pei Wang by acting like this. Aren't you just being the homewrecker? After a long silence, the live comments started popping up. It looks like the heroine still loves the second male lead. Their childhood friendship is stronger than anything. Love it. The heroine and the second male lead are truly meant for each other. I hope he can be with her. Fu Tan saw these comments too. He quietly repeated the words from the comments, childhood friends, a bond stronger than gold. Just when I thought the comments had calmed him down, he suddenly burst into laughter, waving his arms wildly as if to chase away the words, You're all lying to me. Fu Tan embraced me wildly, as if trying to merge me into his very flesh. I broke down crying, struggling frantically. The iron door of the basement crashed down with a loud bang. A figure appeared against the light, like a warrior descending from the heavens, kicking Fu Tan against the wall. Fu Tan, curled up on the ground, spat out a few blood-stained teeth. Before he passed out, he muttered, I'm not a coward. Ningxi and I are the perfect match. I sat in Pei Wang's car, feeling wronged. Why did you only come to find me now? Pei Wang's eyes were red with blood vessels. When you disappeared, you left me a breakup note. Remembering how kind you've been to me, your smiles. I thought you were just flattering me, making me lower my guard. I thought you had abandoned me, the comments said. The heroine shouldn't misunderstand the male lead. He slit his wrists after the second male lead kidnapped you. On the brink of death, he felt you crying and immediately fought to live. The male lead hasn't even bandaged his wrists, and here you are stabbing him in the heart again. Only then did I notice. Pei Wang's wrists were covered with crisscross scars. I remembered a past life. He lay in the bathtub, cold and stiff, lifeless, eventually turning into a pile of cold ashes. I covered my mouth, holding back tears. Pei Wang held me, his tone gentle. Thank you, Ningxi. Thank you for not abandoning me. Outside the car window, the bleak landscape swiftly receded. Pei Wang and I embraced in the car. We were slowly moving toward a future full of blossoming flowers. I need her to tell me herself that she hates me and doesn't want me. Only then would I willingly die. Today, my illness flared up again. But I dare not tell Ningxi. When I'm sick, I become like a wild beast unaware of hunger or thirst. I suppressed my filthy thoughts. Taking advantage of Ningxi's deep sleep, I quietly climbed into bed. Fortunately, I could see Ningxi. I could smell her scent. In the 3rd year of marriage to my wife, we held a belated wedding ceremony. It was the same church and the same stodgy priest as before, but this time, there were flowers, guests, vows of everlasting fidelity, and my Ningxi, who loves me. I am the happiest man in the world. Today is the end of the world. Ningxi caught me holding her clothes. She slapped me, calling me disgusting. Sigh, I am a despicable dog. I hope in my next life, Ningxi won't find me disgusting. I hope in my next life, when I'm afflicted, she will hold me, kiss me, Ningxi. Goodbye.